Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Knowledge Keen, and today we are going to learn the further processes of React. Okay, in the previous videos we learned what is virtual DOM, what is real DOM, and why do we use React, what is React, and all of that stuff. But today we are going to actually start installing the softwares that are required for React. Okay, and these videos will definitely help you out to understand. I have uninstalled all the softwares from my laptop, okay, whatever the recommended was, and we are going to start installing those once again so that it would be very easier for you to understand how we are going to do this. Okay, and this is going to be very interesting. But before going ahead with that, I would like you to click on the subscribe button and also on the bell icon besides the subscribe, so that you can get all the notifications that we are going to get from these upcoming videos. These are going to be very interesting. So we are going to learn components, functional components, and class components, and so many other things in our upcoming videos. So for that, to know about them, you have to click on the bell icon. Do like these videos and mention in the comment box whatever you like to know more about these videos. Okay, and let's go ahead with our installation. So what are the softwares that are required for React? The first and the most important software for even all the other technologies that we are going to use, like Angular, React, Vue, or any other UI technology, you need one of the most important software, that is Node.js. Okay, this is going to be a very important thing. So what is Node? Node is something you can just treat it like an operating system. Okay, so just giving you an side-by-side example. It's not an operating system, but let's think it in this way. Okay, you have Windows and you have like applications which run over the Windows. In the same way, you have Node, over and above which you run different kinds of applications. So this is the way. I'm just giving you a comparative study. Node is not an operating system. Node is a JavaScript framework, a JavaScript technology. Again, it's a JavaScript technology which can be run both as server-side framework as well as a client-side framework. I hope this is making some sense. Okay, so we are going to use Node platform, above which we are going to install our React application. And this is going to be a global React application that we are going to install. So why we are going to do it as a globally? Because you are going to use this command whichever you are going to create a new project. So you can do it in your let's say that I have like two different drives, C drive and D drive, but you're not sure where exactly you want to create this folder. Today you want to create in like C drive, but tomorrow you feel that you want to create a new project in the D drive. So not to just restrict yourself into creating these applications, we install these softwares globally. We are going to see how we are going to install it globally and why and what are the flags used. So all the stuffs are in these videos. But for now, understand this. So the first installation that we are going to do is Node.js. The second and most important one is a React boilerplate, you can say. Okay, React boilerplate, and that we are going to install. What is a boilerplate? We are going to see. And the third and the most important one is editor. So which editor you are going to use? We are going to see that. You have seen my previous videos. We usually use VS Code because it is very lightweight and very like one of the powerful tools for UI development. So that's the reason I love coding in VS Code. You might like coding in like Sublime or any other editor. That's okay with it. So it's not restricted that for React you should use VS Code only. It's up to you, whichever editor you want to use, you can use. I'm just sharing my screen over here, so you can see that we are whenever we want to install the Node.js. Let me start all over again. How should we do that? Go ahead, go to the Google and Node.js. Whenever you go to Node.js, the first link that appears is Node.js. Okay, nodejs.org, and basically my machine is of Windows, so I'm installing it for Windows. Your machine might be Linux, Mac, so it will automatically detect it for you which operating system you're using, and based on it you can just select any of the download version. So this 17.0.1 is the current one. It has all the latest features, but 14.18.1 is also like it's recommended for most users because most of the libraries and frameworks usually work on this. So this is one of, let's target it as like a stable version and an upgraded version. So we'll basically be downloading the stable version for now. You can do any of it. So both are equivalent. Both works in the same way. Both have the same features. 17 might have just a bit advanced feature, but we are not going to do Node, but we are learning how to install it. So I have uninstalled Node from my machine. Just click it. Let's see how to do this basic installation. The setup wizard, next, I agree. So if you want to read all the license information, you can go ahead and read. Click on accept. next. Yes, all these things are good. I'm okay with that. Install the necessary tools. I don't want this chocolatey and all, so next, and install. So admin, it asks for admin privileges. You have to select admin privileges. Next. So basically, whenever you install this, as it has asked for an admin privilege, it is going to install for all the users that are there on your machine. Finish. See how simple it was. It was very easy. So to see, you can just go to command and just type the command as node. You can see a node has been populated, right? So if you want to check the version of the node minus v will be the command to check the version. We installed like 14.18.1. this was the version, and you can see the same version is over here. So if you want to check, node comes with an npm, node package manager. So node has a very vast, huge number of libraries that are there. So like React is a library, as I said. Okay, Angular has it's a combination of libraries. So node itself consists of n number of libraries that are there throughout the world. You can create your own library. You can push it with like in the node community, and you can even someone else might use it. So even the React has its own library, which is just kept it free. You can using the npm commands, node package manager commands, you can install them in your local machine. So basically they get downloaded from the server to your local machine. So npm, if you want to check the version, npm has a different version that comes in usually 6 point something. That is also okay. So now my machine has one of the latest node package manager as well as latest node. As I said, node is basically the platform above which we have npm, above which, and npm is basically a helper for you, which copies all the files from the server. Okay, like just take an example, you are trying to install React, as we are learning React. So it copies all the React libraries and keeps it on your local machine. So this is how npm works. So we have like now node and npm. Now we will go to our React because we want to install React. So get started. This is how I'm just showing you the steps how to install React. If you just scroll down, see online playgrounds. This is one of the another important way where you can code. You don't need Node, you don't need any kind of editor, you don't need React to be installed on a machine. So when you want to just play it online, you just want to learn it online, you just want to try it out for the first time, you can use this code sandboxes like CodePen. There are various online code playgrounds. CodePen is there, Code Sandbox is there, like Stackbliss is there. So one of my most favorite is Code Sandbox, because if you just click it over here, I'll just show you a simple way how to do these. So you have all your files over here, right? These startup files, and you can see the dependencies. I love it because you just name the dependency like XCS. So I'll just take a simple, see, you have the XCS, click it, and the dependency would be directly installed for you. So this is how it's easier for you to work, and that's the reason you can just play around with all the React. You have, see, React is there, React 17.0.2 is there, React DOM is there, React scripts are. So there are multiple libraries which work along with React. We are gonna see them in some time, but this is how online playgrounds work. So you just start directly, you don't need to do anything. I just start like coding, and this will just update in the same window. So this is how online coding works. I don't want to go more deep into that, but this is another important way you can start learning React. So we can add React to our website. It's just a simple HTML page, just get it from the CDNs and do that. But there is a huge drawback of doing that, because you have to create the environments and all the configurations, the babbles and everything. You have to do it on your own. So to give you a simple example, like you have code minification. You cannot just copy the code and deploy it over the server, and there are various stuffs you can do, but let's avoid directly adding React into your website. Instead of that, we can use our boilerplate. So boilerplate, take it as an example, like boilerplate is a complete project which is created by someone and given to you, and using its command you can just create your new project with an empty shell, as an empty shell. So your project will have all the dependencies, your project will have all the configurations that are required. So it is something like something which is ready-madely cooked for you. You just need to add something and give. So a better example for this would be like cup noodles. You just have to add the boiled water and the noodles would be ready for you. So in the same way, someone have already cupped the noodles. You just have to add your own flavor to it, add your own some hot water, some flavor, some other stuff, and the noodles would be ready for you. So this is how React boilerplate is. So boilerplate is nothing but the ready-made cup noodles. A nice example, right? So we have all this stuff. We don't want to go more into them. Like I just want to go into the create a new React app. Yes, I want to do this. See here, there is create React app. Click on this and it will directly take you here. But we don't want to do it. We just want to install it globally, as I said previously. So I just open the git version of, you can see this command, the one which I have highlighted, npm install -g create React app. Okay, so clicking this will install, right click, install. So now this particular command, see, you can see it is installing all the latest packages in my machine. I already had like React some older version, 16 point something, but this is going to give me the latest version like React 17 or something. Okay, see, updated 67 packages in some 5 seconds. And this is how you can install. Now my React is installed globally. So I'm in C drive, some users drive, and I can just say create React app and my folder. Instead of doing it over here, I can do it in my D drive too. I have 2 drives. So I can use the same command, create React app, and I can do it over here. Let me just quickly increase the font. I'm not sure whether you are able to see this. Properties, font, let me just increase it to 36. Oops, it's too big now. Properties, 28, I think 28 will be fine. Yeah, see, so create React app, this is the command that you usually use. If I want to do the same thing in my C drive, I can do the same thing, create -react -app and my project name. So this is the way you create the React app. The last but not the least software that we usually need, okay, the last software that we usually need is our VS Code. Oops, what I'm typing, VS Code. Here it is, the first link, download for Windows, the most stable version. We already have installed VS Code, so I'm not going to install it again now. But, oops, I'm not going to install it now. But this is the way you usually download it, next, and install it. It's a very simple process. You don't have to go through more difficulties to do that. And yes, these are the 3 things that are usually required for starting a basic React application. Okay, all the configurations, everything is ready-made for you. You just need to directly start coding. So now, as we are installing VS Code, as I said that it's my favorite editor, okay, I'm going to show you some of the additional plugins inside VS Code which are going to help you out. So let me just quickly open the VS Code, go to the extensions. The last thing that you see is extensions. I usually use, like, see, for Angular, I use Angular 10 snippets. There are multiple snippets. So snippets are shorthands which helps you to write the code faster. So see, I usually use ES7 React and Redux 1, okay, because that usually helps me out. It has like around 3 million downloads, I think. Yeah, it's around 3 million downloads or 37 lakh downloads. And see, there are some, if you just scroll down, you have these small commands. Like if you want to import some module, you can just use imp. I usually use imr. Where is it? See, imr. So for importing the React, if I just say imr and click the enter button, it will directly import the React application for me. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this and what are the ways I'm using these shorthands, because I'll be doing that a lot in our upcoming videos. Yes. So then the second most, so all the other ones are just for fun. So you can install multiple plugins. But the second most important plugin that you are going to use is Prettier. So Prettier is one of the most handy tool, not only for React but any kind of technology in the UI that you're using. HTML, CSS, it even formats that. So it is a code formatter. If you see over here, it's a code formatter. The name itself says Prettier code formatter. You should always keep your code formatted. That's a very good habit that any developer can have. Writing some line here, some line there, give 100 spaces in between the lines, that's not good. That's not a way a proper good developer can code. Okay, that's not a good way. So but Prettier will help you out to keep your code formatted. You need, okay, usually nobody says this, but with Prettier you just have to add one small shortcut. Let's say that I click Ctrl Shift P, go to the preferences, open settings JSON, and you will be able to see this line. I'll just make it a bit bigger for you. Editor, let me close that. Editor.format on save. So whenever I press Ctrl S, that we usually do to save the files, it will automatically format the whole file for you. So that's how it is, and that's how it's so nice. We are going to see this, how it usually does this. We are going to see this. But whenever you install code Prettier, then you should add these additional lines. It is not sponsored anyway. So yes, let me just close my VS Code. Let me just close all of these, and let's create our first application. Yay! We are going to create our first application now. Let's see how we usually do this. So let's open up an empty folder. So where I usually create the examples, our examples folder. And here we are going to create our first React application. Now I just want to open my command prompt and go to this location, C/Windows/my name/desktop and so on and so forth. Okay, but I don't want to go using command prompt, using all that commands. The easier way to do this, go to the address bar, open your folder here and type cmd, and voila, it opens for you. And I'm directly inside the C user/version/desktop/examples, and here we are going to create, I'll just keep it side by side so that you can see a folder getting created in the background. I do create React app, and let's say hello world would be my first application. Enter. See, it is getting created. Whoa. And it would be super fast. It is going to just depending on the internet speed, depending on your laptop speed, it is going to do it in like flick of a seconds. Let's wait for it. Till it gets installed, we will see why to use create React app instead of directly importing it using CDNs. So as I said before, okay, importing it from CDNs will need some additional configurations to be done in your project, okay, to make it runnable on a production environment. A so long statement I said, but it's true. You have to add some additional configs. But as I said, using boilerplates will remove these additional configurations. So there might be some developer configurations that you have to do. You have to create a development server. You have to add webpacks. You have to add like Babel and all this additional stuff you need. Even we use Node.js, I think, in between. So all these additional configurations we don't need to specifically add when we are using create React app as a boilerplate. So these configurations are already there in your existing application. Even when I'm creating a new project, it is there. Okay, these configurations are ready-madely there. But still, if you want to see what are the configurations, what are the things and what are the files that they have imported, you can run one simple command, and that would be, it is going to show you whenever you're creating a new project, that would be npm run eject. Okay, you should try avoiding to run this command into an existing project, okay, in a specifically production environment, because this is a one-way directional command. Once you run it, there is no coming back. It is just going to explore all the files, all the additional configurations that are there in your project. It is just going to show you, because these configurations are hidden. They are not visible for you. Whenever you open your folder, you're not going to see that. And using npm run eject, this command which you're seeing right now, see, remove this tool and copies build dependencies and so on. If you do this, you can't go back. It's already warning you, because you just say cd and start npm start and start running your project, but don't run the npm run eject command, because there is no coming back from it. So that was a warning specifically. And now, as it's saying, let's go into our hello world, enter, and it's saying to type the command npm start. I type this command and it is starting a development server. See, that's the thing I was saying. It is automatically starting a development server for me. I don't need to add some additional configurations. And here is a first default page that is given by React. Okay, it is saying edit app.js and reload, and you are there. Your whole project is ready now. Now, as we have created our first project, let's go through some files which we are creating. I'm just going to stop this. How to open VS Code directly from this? Just type code dot and it is going to open the existing project for you. See, hello world is now open in my application, and here we are. The first folder is node modules. All the dependencies that I was talking, these are basically mentioned in your package and package log.json. Every package, every library, all of these things are there. See, Babel, even Babel is here. Yeah, Babel or Babel, whatever you want to call it as. All these things are here for you. Okay, these are working behind the scenes to run your application smooth. But don't worry, you're not going to get these node modules when we are going to deploy it in the production, which we are going to see in our later videos. Then we have a public folder. This is basically, the name even suggests that this is publicly accessible to everyone. So we have our favicon icon, that is a favorite icon, which usually you see at the top of the browser. Let me close all the other windows so that, yeah, all the other tabs. You can see this is the favicon icon that you see in the top left corner. Then we have our default index.html. Here you have some meta tags, some additional links to get that favorite icons. Then you have some additional meta configurations that you usually don't want to do anything. You have some manifestation files, you don't want to touch them too. You have your default title of the project, and you can see there is only one single tag in your body. So there is no any additional element inside the body, but only one single tag. And you're not gonna change this, but you're gonna see where exactly. Just remember it for a minute. id equal to root. I'm going to remind you where exactly we are using this. Then we have like the default logos that you want to see. They are just simple PNGs. See, these are the logos that you are seeing over here. Some additional manifest files. So these are some custom configurations of your whatever the image sizes are there, and so on and so forth. So you don't want to even touch these because these are not required. These are not important. And we just close this. We have another important folder, that is our src. Whichever code you're gonna do, okay, all the files, everything, all the css, javascripts, htmls, all of these are going to be situated under your src folder. We are gonna see how. You can even see over here app.css is there, so we have our css. App.js is there, we have our js, and whatever htmls if we are creating, okay, we are not going to create any htmls, but if in case we are going to create some htmls, that is also going to be here. App.js, as I said in my first video, app is the default component that usually comes in with our React. Let's quickly open this. This is some dummy css that was given for this page. You don't need this, you can delete it up, that's okay. App.js, you can see you have a functional component. This is going to be interesting. We are gonna see in our next video what is functional component and what is class-based components. These things are very important, very interesting, and we are gonna see how we are gonna use them. But for now, let's ignore this. We have some test files, okay. Writing unit test cases in an application is very important. We will be covering these, but this would be like the very end sessions in our React project. Okay, because writing unit test cases are important, absolutely, but we need to know how to write a component first before testing them, right? So this would be like some of the end videos that we are gonna see. Then we have our index CSS. This would be some default body and code CSS. This is a default CSS. Even ignore this. Here it comes, another most important file of React, that is index.js. This is like the first file which is going to be triggered after your index.html. And you see there is our first package. Now we are not saying library, we are saying packages because we have installed it using npm. So this is a node package, okay, React package that we have. So we have imported React and another helper package, that is React DOM. So React DOM is another library. So now we are trying to create our own framework, right? So framework consists of multiple libraries, and here we are using first React library. The second one is React DOM library. React DOM library is something you can just say it helps to basically link your component and the HTML. Simple, okay? Let's not make it more complex. React DOM usually links your components to your HTML. Straightforward, simple, and this is the only file where you are going to use React DOM for now. React DOM has a default render method. We are going to see this. What is render method? We are going to basically we are trying to write React in a strict mode. Use strict is there. So if you have gone through my JavaScript videos, you are going to see what is use strict and how we are trying to write script in a strict mode. So React has its internal strict mode, which allows you to. So I'll give you a simple example. Okay. You cannot use variable until and unless it's declared. So this is one of the strict modes that is in JavaScript, and it is the same logic in your React. So these are rules that is defined in strict mode, and it helps you to write some better code. Here you see we have our first app component. The app component, the default component, you can change that default component if you start writing your component here. That's okay. And you see it's a comma. So there are two parameters for render method. The first one was JSX element, your component in short, and the second one was which ID you want to link it to. So which element you want to link it to. Here is the root, index.html, div ID equal to root. This is the same root. Here you are linking your component with your HTML, right? Then we have report web vitals. So this is nothing. See, it already says you have this file over here and it has the description over here. If you want to start measuring your performance, and all of this stuff is there already in your report web vitals. Let's ignore it for now. We have our default logo. We have setup test. If you want to add some additional configurations in your setup, in your testing library, unit testing, you can do it over here. This is it. We have the src folder, and we have like package lock and package JSON. As I said, these are basically the files which tell your whole application which are the dependencies that are needed to be installed in your application. And last but not the least, a default readme, which usually helps you out to understand and run all the commands, and all the commands, everything is written over here. All the important links are in this. You can take help of this to write better code. I think let's stop it over here. Let's not go much deeper into the files. We are going to see all the files back again in our future videos and see what is the importance of which file, how we are going to write our first application. So all these things are upcoming in our next videos. Do tune in, do keep watching. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please like and comment. Thank you everyone, keep watching.